The cafe door chimed softly as Maya slipped inside, clutching her baby close to her chest. The morning air still clung to her coat, cool and sharp, and her heart pounded in her ribs. She'd barely slept, rehearsing her answers again and again, praying her baby would let her get through the interview without a scene. This was her last chance, a personal assistant position at Hartwell Industries. The company was a dream, the CEO a legend. And she, just a single mother who hadn't worked since her husband's accident 2 years ago. She spotted him right away. Ethan Hartwell, every inch the man she'd seen in the newspapers. Sharp suit, silver watch, expression calm and unreadable. He sat near the window, tablet open, a cup of untouched coffee beside him. Maya took a breath, shifted the baby's blanket, and walked toward him, praying her hands wouldn't shake. "Mr. Hartwell," she said softly. He looked up, his eyes flicking briefly from her face to the tiny bundle in her arms. "Ms. Collins," he said, his voice smooth and steady. "You're right on time." "Thank you," she said, trying to sound composed. "And I'm so sorry, sir. My babysitter canceled at the last minute. I didn't want to reschedule or be late, so I had to bring him." Her voice trembled. "I understand if this is unprofessional. He set his tablet down slowly, studying her face. For a moment, she thought she saw a flicker of surprise, then something softer. "It's fine," he said finally, his tone calm. "He's your son." "Yes. His name is Leo." "Leo," he repeated quietly, glancing at the baby's sleepy face. "He looks peaceful. He won't be for long," Maya muttered under her breath, embarrassed. "He hates long mornings." Ethan's lips twitched, almost a smile. Then, to her utter shock, he rose from his chair and extended his arms. "May I?" Maya froze. "You want to hold him? Unless he's too shy," he said. Carefully, she handed Leo over. The baby blinked up at the tall man curiously, then reached for his tie with chubby fingers. Ethan chuckled. A soft, genuine sound that made her blink in surprise. She'd expected cold professionalism, not warmth. "He has good taste," Ethan murmured, letting Leo tug the silk gently. Maya felt her anxiety melt, replaced by something else, an unfamiliar lightness. The powerful CEO of Hartwell Industries was rocking her baby like it was the most natural thing in the world. "Let's sit," Ethan said finally, motioning to the chair across from him while still holding the baby. "We'll talk while he supervises." She laughed nervously, taking a seat. "I promise he won't interrupt too much." "I don't mind interruptions," he said simply. "They remind me that life doesn't always fit into a schedule." For the first time that morning, Maya smiled, not because she was supposed to, but because she felt safe. Maybe this interview wasn't the disaster she feared. Maybe, just maybe, it was the beginning of something she didn't even know she needed. An hour had passed, though it felt like minutes. The cafe had grown quieter, the morning rush fading, but Maya barely noticed. The interview had turned into something warmer, less like a formality and more like a conversation. Ethan asked questions about her experience, her life, her challenges balancing motherhood and work. Yet there was no judgment in his tone, only genuine curiosity. She spoke honestly, her voice gaining strength with each answer. She told him how she used to manage office schedules before her husband's accident, how she'd learned to handle pressure, how motherhood had taught her patience she never knew she possessed. Ethan listened, really listened, his gaze steady, occasionally glancing at the baby, who now slept peacefully in his stroller. "Do you ever rest?" he asked suddenly. She smiled faintly. "When he does. Which isn't often." A quiet chuckle escaped him. "I can imagine. You've been through a lot." Maya hesitated, unsure how to respond. "We're managing," she said softly. "I don't have much, but I have him." "That's enough." Ethan nodded, something thoughtful crossing his face. For a man known for his detachment, there was a surprising depth in his eyes, a flicker of understanding that felt personal. The waitress came by to refill their cups. Ethan waved her off, then leaned forward slightly. "You know," he said, "I expected this to be a simple interview. A checklist of qualifications, experience, references. But you've reminded me of something I'd forgotten." "What's that?" Maya asked, puzzled. "That strength isn't always loud," he said. "Sometimes it's the quiet kind. The kind that doesn't ask for recognition, but keeps going anyway." Maya blinked, caught off guard by the sincerity in his tone. No one had ever said something like that to her. Not since her husband. She looked down, pretending to adjust Leo's blanket, hiding the sudden sting of tears. "I'm sorry," she murmured. "I didn't mean to turn this into something emotional." "Don't apologize," he said gently. "It's rare to meet someone real these days." For a few moments, silence lingered between them, filled only by the hum of the espresso machine and the soft breathing of her baby. Then Ethan straightened, his voice returning to that calm, assured tone. "Maya, I'd like to offer you the position." Her head snapped up. You mean it?" He smiled. "I do. You're exactly the kind of person I want beside me, organized, resilient, and human. You'll start next week. And if Leo ever needs to come along, we'll make space for him." Her hand flew to her mouth. "Mr. Hartwell, thank you. I don't know what to say." "Say you'll accept," he said quietly. "I accept," she whispered, smiling through tears. As she gathered her things, Ethan walked her to the door. "And Maya," he added, his voice soft, "never apologize for being a mother. It's not a weakness, it's your greatest strength." She stepped out into the sunlight, her heart lighter than it had been in years. For once, the world didn't seem so cold. And inside the cafe, the powerful CEO stood by the window, watching her leave, with a smile that felt like the beginning of something new.